Fala rapaziada, beleza? Tudo certo com vocês? Quem fala com vocês é o Rumi, galera. Sim, estamos de volta aqui para mais um vídeo do Horizon Forbidden West, beleza? Deixa eu mostrar pra vocês onde a gente tá, galera. A gente tá aqui na nossa base, beleza? E agora a gente vai finalizar a missão que a gente começou há 2 vídeos atrás, beleza? O último vídeo a gente fez pescoção, foi bem legal aquele pescoção. Caraca, já tá cheio de mala aqui, velho. Esse cara vieram de maricuia aqui nessa parada. Tá, já tem uma parte de atualização para fazer aqui, então vamos subir aqui, falar com a Gaia, devolver aqui o Demeter, e aí a gente atualiza aí com a galera, vamos ver o que vai rolar. Ah, galera, deixa eu mostrar pra vocês, acho que eu não mostrei, né? Sim, pera aí. Galera, eu liberei uma arminha nova, olha que eu tô com uma arminha lendária, com esse arco aqui, lendário. E eu tô com essa lança dardo aqui também, muito rara. Por que eu fiz isso, galera? Pra poder fazer na arena. Eu fui na arena, fiz mais alguns desafios. Eu fui num dos campos de caça, fiz mais coisinhas ali pra poder liberar esse lança dardo aqui mais forte. Depois fui na arena e fiz lá o suficiente pra poder comprar esse arco aqui, beleza? Mano, é outro mundo essa arma aqui. Agora a gente tá muito bolado. Vamos falar, deixar aqui com a Gaia. Vamos lá. Boa. E um troféuzinho ainda.
With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus, and fortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it.
Aê, a Beta já fez umas paradas aí, né, Beta?
With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores? Where would we find a place like that? Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I've been there. The Tanakh marked the entrance as some kind of ritual ground. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
Eu sei. É perto do pescoção.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Boa ideia.
Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's mega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Boa. Aí tô gostando, hein? Ficou interessante. Ah, então... Não sei se vocês lembram, galera, mas tinha um caldeirão que tinha uma par de coisa ali na frente.
The Quen have a ferry on the coast that they used to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go.
Beleza. Bom, ganhou mais 2 pontinhos de habilidade aqui, quase chegamos no level 31.
I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood.
Beleza. Vou falar com a Gaia aqui. Lembrando que qualquer coisa eu vou dar uma pulada, tá, galera? Só aparecendo aqui os diálogos, qualquer coisa vocês dão uma pausinha aí. Tem muita coisa aqui ainda. Tá, tem essas paradas aqui que... Oi, Beta.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that attitude, do you really think she'll be able to build the rig and pulse generators?
It may take some coaxing, but with some assistance I am confident she will.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's so quick to assume we'll fail. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays here when we go to Gemini. All this data I've picked up, and I guess I never really thought that other people would be looking at it.
Based on my observations, your companions engage quite frequently. Erend has asked on numerous occasions about birthday parties. He appears perplexed by the tradition of serving a sweet confection, as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition of serving sparkling stout ale. He also suggested we host a party for you, as a surprise.
Yeah, no thanks.
That is
Não
what
tem
I
cara
predicted.
de festa surpresa. Eu odeio festa surpresa, mano. Se alguém fizer festa surpresa, eu vou ficar muito puto.
Is Catalo getting along with everyone?
Yes, though he appears to be collating data on war machine battles during the Pharaoh Plague to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of...
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private path. He has repeatedly declined my offers to...
Tá, beleza.
So now that you have Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon, how's the biosphere looking?
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional months.
Well, with luck, soon you'll have Hephaestus. Then you'll be able to fix the biosphere for good, right?
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environmental damage that has accumulated.
Tá.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus.
As you wish. Which is why,
Right.
while you are gone,
Tá,
I
tu tá falando do
when
plano.
we get the second core is for Hephaestus.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
There are calculations I still must run, but I estimate a few hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a The energy surge should mask our...
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zenith.
Ah, beleza. Atualização ômega. Deixa eu ver essa atualização ômega aqui.
There's something I've been wondering. How could Ted Faro create a clearance level high? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere with the project.
It is plausible he tasked his own engineers with creating a back door to the Zero Dawn system, without Elizabeth's knowledge. My predecessor did not even know of its existence until he activated it to purge the Apollo database. It is, in effect, a blind spot. One that will allow us to subdue Hephaestus. And fortunately, thanks to Beta's information, we know where Omega clearance may be procured.
Right. Somewhere in San Francisco.
Beleza. Bom, deixa eu voltar aqui. Velho Mundo. Descobertos do Velho Mundo.
So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Pharaoh agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass conversion system, but Elizabeth know they were working on that?
It is likely she was briefed on other efforts to combat the machine swarm, though her focus was devoted only to Zero Dawn.
That makes sense. But they actually got the wreaths to work. If they've been able to deploy it against the Pharaoh Plague in time...
Using the data you recovered on the project, I ran several simulations and have concluded that it would never have worked. In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreaths before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really was the only solution.
Exato.
There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about it. Do you think it'll help the Quen fix their homeland?
I will run a query. Complete. The data contains information about novel, which may be beneficial to the tribe in the long term.
Tá.
But new crops aren't going to save the world. So
It is.
Beleza, galera. Nossa. Aí tem Gemini ainda.
So Gemini has 2 data cores. I've never seen a cauldron like that. But you mentioned something about seismic activity?
When my predecessor attempted to build the cauldron, construction was disrupted by a series of earthquakes. The data core had already been built, but the rest of the facility sustained damage. So, she began again. A second core was built. However, when more tremblers occurred, she abandoned the site.
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No, though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
Entendi nada. Tá bom, vamos embora.
See you later, Gaia.
Until
Vamos lá.
next time.
Ainda tem mó galera pra falar ali e o vídeo hoje vai ser só falação. Eu peguei mais drone, galera, mas depois eu jogo os drones lá. Bom,
And dirt. Don't forget all that dirt we had to bring in.
Ó, tem mais coisas aqui. Deixa eu usar a bancada aqui. Deixa eu fazer uma melhoria. Eu tenho melhoria de arma? Ah, eu tenho, mas é de arma que eu não quero. Beleza. Daqui a traje eu não tenho desse aqui, né? Tá, então vou deixar quieto. Munição. Deixa eu criar mais munição. Sempre bom criar munição na bancada. Gasta menos insumos ali, né? Custa menos. Beleza. O resto tá tudo beleza. Vambora. Ah, deixa eu ver um negócio. Eu posso melhorar minha bolsa? O que eu posso melhorar aqui? Mano, eu preciso de pele de carpa, velho. Agora meu... Não. Isso aqui, ó. Bolsa de trituradores. Que é isso? Munição da manopla trituradora. Não, não é isso aqui, não. Eu preciso disso aqui, ó. Eu preciso de pele de robalo e casca de caranguejo. Puta, eu não fui nem no lugar que tem caranguejo. Armadilhas. Armadilha eu não uso muito, né, mano? Isso aqui também não. Essa armadilha eu não uso muito. Bagulho de armadilha. Ah.
Aloy, there are more supplies in the chest.
Oh, boa, garota. Tá. Que locais mais que a mulher liberou aqui pra gente que eu não vi? Opa. Que lugar mais que a mulher falou que liberou aqui que eu não sei qual que era? Aqui eu já tava, não tava? Ah, vai ter uma missão secundária, que é isso. É pouco. Ah, o cotá-lo, tá. Vai ter uma missão secundária com o cotá-lo.
Looks like I can open that door now.
Que porta? Aqui? Ah, aqui, ó.
Another room. What for?
Sei lá. Bom. Deixa aqui que a coisa vocês dão.
Switch to a private lock.
Ah, não.
Switch to a private lock. Okay, so Regional Control Center 9. Design of the facility's coming along. When Gaia finally builds it, it'll have everything it needs. Except personality. So, I'm going to sneak in my own mark. A couple of flourishes. Starting with this little tucked-away hideout. August would have gotten a kick out of it. He loved hidden passages, like the kind in old English castles. But I've got something bigger planned. My piece de resistance, if you will.
Como é que eu passo aqui? Ah, não consigo andar ali. Bom, beleza. Vamos voltar. Porra, não consegui ir ali, velho. Queria ir ali. Deixa eu falar com o Kotalo aqui. Ele vai dar alguma missão pra gente, vamos ver.
As many as you need.
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in fog.
Yes, and I'm looking for a tribe, the Quen. I encountered them once before. They said they came from across the Great Ocean. I was hoping that Tenakth knew more about them.
There were rumors of trespassers in the area, but we thought they were just bandits. Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but I don't recall them reporting back. We've had more pressing concerns, as you know. I'm sorry. That's all I can tell you.
Ah, bom.
It's okay. I guess I'll find out soon enough.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's personal. If you have a moment
Tá bom, meu amigo. Manda aí que eu vou... Missão secundária eu sempre quero. Deixa eu
Anything
ver.
interesting happened while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to practice.
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not trying to kill you?
that would defeat the purpose.
Tá.
Found anything interesting?
Gaia told me where to find data on how I knew the 10 fought against machines, but it seems they were among the last. Later, machines battled other machines as they vied for at least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives.
There is nobility in that.
Yes, of course.
Agora que precisam dar uma pausa aí, tá? Tem muito fala, eu tô dando uma lida.
I am no chaplain, but
What is it?
the old ones believed one could hear the great water if you carried the carcass of a... They called them seashells.
That sounds...
Eu vou passando tudo aqui, galera, pra... né?
So I've been teaching him Tenakth history. It is heavy with blood, but also with honorable deed. Maybe you'd like to hear about it as well.
I'd be honored.
Porque senão, meu...
What did Tenakth do to relax?
We play strike. Although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically.
Somehow that still sounds...
Deixa eu ver o pedido dele, vamos ver.
You said there was something you wanted to talk about?
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old world machinery as you are. could use your assistance.
It might be dangerous. The Zeniths probably still keep an eye on that place. We were lucky to get out of there alive the first time.
I see.
It sounds like this is worth the risk.
Mas vai, meu filho. Tá tranquilo. Beleza, então ganhamos uma nova missãozinha aqui.
Should you need reinforcements?
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith. We'll get what you need for that.
Thank you, Aloy.
Beleza, liberamos aqui uma nova missão secundária.
Huh. That door's unlocked now. There's a lot of equipment in here.
Ó.
Gaia.
Deixa eu...
What was all this for?
I've been tackling the design of the ag lab.
This room was designed for management of the facility's
And I have a lot of seed
vast
stock to work
seed
with.
banks.
My
For
favorite?
here, control center operatives would have monitored new crop rotations into the automated farmlands, now known as Plainsong.
I see.
Tá, tive que parar porque um bagulho ficou sobrepondo o outro.
I've been tackling the design of the ag lab. Place is gonna have a lot of seed stock to work with. My favorite? Sepal 626. Calotropis gigantea. The crown flower. We used to have one in our backyard. Butterflies always fluttering around. Every morning, August would run out there to check under the leaves. See if any caterpillars had turned into chrysalises. Now, I'd like to imagine that the future will be filled with them.
Beleza, deixa eu ativar esse holoprojetor e vamos ver o que rola.
According to this console, there are still thousands of plant samples stored deep below the facility. I could ask Gaia about them the next time I talk to her.
Ah, é isso? Pra que tem um bagulho aqui que eu não posso... Yeah.
Beta's so frustrating. I don't get how she can be so negative all the time. I mean, we're clones of the same woman, and yet... she couldn't be more different from Elizabeth.
Oops.
I know Varl meant well, bringing up Rost. I guess it's hard to talk about. With everything going on, it feels easier to set those memories aside.
Tá bom.
At least for now. When I met Hikaru, I figured he was just another bloodthirsty warlord. Vishav was right. Hikaru wants peace. It won't be easy. But with his new marshals, maybe his vision has a chance.
Beleza, vamos lá. Pera, vamos terminar de falar com os outros aqui. A gente tem uma saidinha aqui. Deixa eu falar com a galera aqui. A gente já finaliza.
Aloy, you're
Já
here.
deu mais de 20 minutos
Did you
aí.
meet with the Quen already?
Not yet.
After all the trouble you went through getting those subfunctions, seems unfair you have to deal with these Quen on your own too.
It's safer this way. They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so. Let me know if you need anything before you go.
É nóis, mano.
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab Hephaestus.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stared
Better them than us. You
Passando
better
aqui
not be
batido,
slacking
hein?
off on your stuff.
and risk Zoe coming after me. In fact, I've been reading how he destroyed the world and crawled into...
He definitely was a piece of work. I hope Zoe's not upset.
Yeah, I don't think you...
What do you mean?
Well, before Zoe found a way to fix the land, I suggested that when Gaia was fully...
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely...
That's what I said. But I guess that she got pretty raw. Said I didn't understand the... Which is true, of course. And the last thing I'd ever want to do is this... But I was trying to look at things different, more like you, you know?
Yeah, I guess I...
Not your fault.
Caraca,
To
velho.
Zoe?
I suffered through a few hours of glare. How do people do this? What if an apology is not enough?
You give her a stuffed animal?
You're the worst. You know that?
What makes you think I know anything about any of...
Abandoning me again, huh?
Well,
Nossa,
how did
velho.
Gaia build the rig?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that We'll get Gaia, and no more zeniths, no more deranged. I welcome it, but I wonder how the Nora will react.
Let's just focus.
You're right.
I'll be in.
We'll be ready.
Good.
Beleza. Já falamos com ele. Vamos falar aqui com a Zo.
Aloy, I hear you're going further west past the Tenakth clanlands.
Do you know anything about the area?
Only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that lies beyond the western coast. They call it the Isle of Spires. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touch the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted Farrow would do. How much have you read on Ted?
Enough to wonder how a man could let greed and pride, for one's spirit to diminish in such, or pity him.
It looked like you were working on something.
With Gaia now growing in strength, even if some people think...
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea with new machines when...
It wasn't.
The land, they are not some broken toy. Even if they are just machines, to abandon them in their time of suffering...
I'm sure.
He does now. I had to get pretty...
You know I can hear you guys, right?
You've been getting
Passando
to know
batida
Aaron?
aqui.
Of course. In this case, a very...
You ever play that board?
Strike? I was hoping it'd distract. No such luck.
You and Varl doing okay?
We're doing fine, although I admit it'd be... But then who'd look after...
Well, there's always Katala.
Leave a loud Oseram with it. What could go wrong?
What's everyone been up to?
I've been trying to share some of... Thought it might help her feel... Maybe even get her to sleep up here. She would not be... Patience reaps the best...
Well, I should get going. After that,
we'll be ready.
Beleza. Tem mais alguém para atualizar? Puto, Errand. Puta merda.
That's just I hear about you going west.
turns out we need one last thing before we can grab Hephaestus.
Because it would have been too easy otherwise.
Bet you're used to that.
Well, I can hit machines in there. I wish all the other data was... To be honest, it's hard to understand. And then the other half reminds me, which is... But hey.
Just give it time. You've been looking at any
I asked Gaia to find me some, and she found the mother. They called it. Turns out the old ones spent a lot. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale?
What else have you been studying with your phone?
Yeah, I've been looking into this. Gaia showed us everything that... I mean, this Morland guy seems pretty smart, though risking the Tanakh.
Maybe I should check up on them at some point.
Right.
Anything happen?
Zoe asked us to... Not for eating, apparently. Have you asked me? You know, metal might be plain, but it's...
How are things with Katana?
Oh, she thinks... Actually, I had to fill in most, but I'm still...
Glad to hear it.
Não vou jogar não, né? Pelo amor de Deus.
I think I know. Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them. In the meantime, Varl will help you get ready for what comes next.
Take care of yourself, Aloy.
Beleza, bom, acho que vai ter só a beta agora pra ver, né? Deixa eu ir lá na beta rapidinho. Seja lá onde ela estiver, né? Que eu não lembro mais. Tá, aqui é o meu quarto, né? Eu quero ir descer. Aqui, ó. Descer aqui rapidinho. Aqui ainda tá fechado.
Hello.
E aí, Beta?
Hey, me again. Was there something else? So do you have everything you need to build Gaia? Sent me the schematics without the capabilities of Hephaestus, but not that it matters without him. I'll find it. So, aside from... Zoe told me how you met... I had no idea you were severe. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on Earth, but they didn't kill me. You said you... He told me about your... I told him if I was born into the tribe. It does require a lot of physical... I don't think I'd be suited for any... Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora, then. I'll be going.
Beleza.
Okay. Bye.
Bom, galera, finalizamos aqui com a...
Looks like Gaia was able to unlock that door. What was this room for, Gaia?
This was intended as a diagnostic center to monitor machine activity in the repair bay below. It appears most of the equipment was damaged, likely from Minerva's control of this facility.
Yeah, she did try really hard to keep me out.
Ó, tem uma paradinha ali, hein?
Looks like this device connects to that console, but it needs power.
Exatamente. Deixa eu ver.
Gotta be more careful. Jensen almost caught onto my plan while we were going over the diagnostic center specs. I've got nothing against the rest of the team. It's just... I'm sure they've all got family they're gonna meet up with in Elysium. But me? I couldn't even bury August. There's nothing of him left besides my memories. I won't let those blink out of existence too. The vault's for us, no one else. 11 more weeks before we lock the blueprints. Then the rest will be up to Gaia.
Beleza, então não tem o cilindro de energia, né? Tem que ver onde é que tem. Talvez só libere depois, né? Eu espirrar. Galera, vamos fazer o seguinte. Nossa, tô quase espirrando. Cara, faz sentido, eu tenho que subir pra pegar o cilindro de energia. Tem que achar em algum lugar. Bom, vai liberar alguma porta aqui, aí eu vou ver, né?
I don't think that door had power before, but
É, ó.
looks like it's malfunctioning. Looks like some kind of maintenance space.
É, então a gente vai achar bagulho de energia aqui. Beleza. Aqui, ó, tá vendo? Ah, leleque. Beleza, opa, tem outro aqui. Puxa aí.
I wonder where this leads.
Sei lá.
Power cells? Huh.
Interessante, ó. Ah, tem uma célula aqui, ó. Mas como é que eu vou? Eu não consigo... Tá, deixa eu ver o negócio. Então, como é que eu levo isso daqui ali pra baixo? Ó, eu tenho que dar um jeito de trazer uma daquelas células pra cá para liberar aqui, né? Será que consigo jogar? Acho que consigo vir andando com uma delas, né? E cair naquela parada, né? Vamos ver. Aê, garoto.
That did it.
Aloy? A bunch of lights just turned on up here? Was that you?
Yeah, I guess it was.
Beleza. Vou pegar esse aqui. Vamos descer, agora vamos lá no outro. A gente libera uma parada aqui, eu não sei o que vai ser. Vamos ver.
Okay. That console has power now.
Aqui, ó. Vamos ver.
From the looks of this data, Festus has been trying to hack into the repair bay.
Ó.
Okay, doesn't look like it's been able to.
É só para liberar mais uma info aqui. Tá bom. Bom, beleza, galera. Então é isso. Vambora. Deixa eu botar a missão aqui como túmulo do faro. Túmulo do faro! Loucura, loucura, loucura! Ei. Vamos lá. Então, galera, eu saindo daqui eu já vou dar uma salvada.
Aloy, it's a long way to the coast. If you need to resupply en route, I suggest stopping in Fall's Edge. It's a lowland clan village southwest of the Grove, in the heart of the jungle.
Got it. Thanks for the advice.
Tá pra queda vista. Muito bom. Vou salvar aqui, galera. E vou mostrar pra vocês onde é que é queda vista. Aqui, ó. É um local que eu já tenho aqui um save point bem pertinho aqui, ó. Como dei uma bela de uma explorada aqui já, ó. Ó pra você ver o tanto de coisa que eu liberei aqui, galera. É só andando no mapa. Depois a gente tem que ir lá na casa do chapéu, velho. Bom, então vamos aqui. Depois eu vou pra essa parada aqui. E aí a gente continua. Beleza, galera? Então valeu, gente. Eu espero que vocês tenham curtido. Se você curtiu o vídeo, não se esqueça de se inscrever no canal para mais conteúdo, beleza? Então, rapaziada, valeu. Um beijo. Eu fui. Tchau.